Trump Jr. said, quote, after pleasantries were exchanged, that's so fucking upper class, isn't it? After pleasantries were exchanged, the woman, now he calls her the woman. You know, before that it was attorney Veselnitskaya, but now it's the woman. Quote, after pleasantries were exchanged, the woman stated that she had information that individuals connected to Russia were funding the Democratic National Committee and supporting Mrs. Clinton. He went on, quote, her statements were vague, ambiguous, and made no sense. Like you, right? No details or supporting information was provided or even offered. It quickly became clear that she had no meaningful information, end quote. Well, Donnie boy, then why didn't you leave the meeting? Your whole story's a fucking lie, and you know it. Story 1's a lie. Story 2's a lie. Can't wait for stories 3, 4, 7, 28, and 90. He goes on, Donnie Jr., quote, she then changed subjects and began discussing the adoption of Russian children and mentioned the Magnitsky Act. It became clear to me that this was the true agenda all along, and that the claims of potentially harmful information were a pretext for the meeting. I interrupted and advised her that my father was not an elected official, but rather a private citizen, and that her comments and concerns were better addressed if and when he held public office, end quote. This is Donnie Jr. trying to tell anyone who reads this or hears about, I was acting very righteously. The woman was fucking crazy, if you want to really know what I think. You're crazy. He said the meeting lasted about 20 to 30 minutes. There was no follow-up, and that his pappy, quote, knew nothing of the meeting or these events, end quote. So there's Donnie Jr. lying his ass off again. You tell me, Trump's son, Trump's son-in-law, and Trump's campaign manager all get together to have a meeting with a Russian lawyer who purports to have really horrible information on Hillary Clinton. And the lying trio wants us to believe that they didn't tell Donnie Sr. that the meeting was going to occur in Trump Tower? Why, of course they didn't. What would possibly make you think they would have clued in the orange asshole? I mean, it was only his son, his son-in-law, and his campaign manager. No reason to tell Donnie. Jesus. This was an effort to get opposition research on an opponent in an American political campaign from the Russians who were engaged in spying inside the United States. That's a quote from Richard Painter, who served as President George W. Bush's top ethics advisor from 2005 to 2007. He said this yesterday on MSNBC. Let me repeat what Bush's top ethics lawyer for 2 years said yesterday on MSNBC, quote, this was an effort to get opposition research on an opponent, that's what Donnie Jr. was doing, in an American political campaign from the Russians, who were known to be engaged in spying inside the United States. He went on, we do not get our opposition research from spies. We do not collaborate with Russian spies unless we want to be accused of treason. Well, unless we want to be accused of treason. Seriously, truth seeker, what in the fuck is it going to take to wake up? Well, no, they're not asleep. They're just cowardly little sniveling bastards. What's it going to take to motivate, there's a better word, these Republican devils in the Congress who have the power to remove this man from office? What's it going to take? What does he have to do? I mean, if he took a dump on a crucifix, would that do it? No? Of course not. Somebody made him do it, right? Honest to God, this stuff is just, you can't make it up. It is the most bizarre shit. It's fairly close, not quite, but fairly close to the lies and deceptions that the framers of the U.S. Constitution put in that document. All men are created equal, my ass. Every one of those slave-owning sons of bitches had the balls to say that and write it down and sign it. But this crop of liars, everything they lie about is this petty horse shit. You know, the framers were lying about the non-humanity of other humans. That's a pretty big deal. But these little pricks that cluster around Trump, they're not talking about big issues. They're talking about stealing shit and lying. This is all about money. That's all it is. It's all about laundering money and maybe oil deals later on and real estate deals all over the fucking world, right? Money, money, money. At least the framers committed their deception on huge issues, like denying the humanity to other human beings.